What is the biggest mistake people make when they're speaking at a conference, an event, a meeting, pitching, or making a request, asking for something? Stick around because I'll be sharing this one critical thing that you must know at the end of the video so that you don't do it. And before that, I'm going to be sharing 3 things for you to put front and center every time you have something to communicate. This is important because it's the difference between people wanting to hear what you have to say, wanting to know more or not, and the difference between you getting the yes that you're after or not. You have spent ages putting together that perfect pitch presentation, going over how you're going to negotiate, ask for that really important thing. But the second you start speaking, you realized, wait a minute, they're not paying attention to me. You feel like saying, hello, I'm over here. Maybe they're nodding, but you know they're disconnected. Maybe they're not even doing that. Maybe they're looking around the room, on the phone, reading something, talking to somebody. It's frustrating. It's annoying. Maybe you think it's downright rude. The thing is, they're not paying attention. They're not paying you with their attention because you haven't given them a reason to. So this is a you problem. I see this happening all the time when people who are at the top of their game, at the top of industry and business, are speaking at conferences, events, panel discussions I'm moderating or chairing, or when people share that their big ask was dismissed, ignored, fell on deaf ears. If this sounds familiar, fret not, I'm here to help. First, let's define the outcome that you're after. I believe the one outcome that you're after is a yes. You want a yes to your ask. And by the way, I put paying clients under the yes because they've said yes to you, your product, your service, and not gone to the competition. To make this your reality, here are 3 statements I want you to embed in your mind. They are: tune into them. Perspective is power. And interest, not inform. Tune into them so they tune into you. If you don't know what your people, let's call them your stakeholders, will pay attention to, you are in trouble. Let me explain why I like the word stakeholder. Because they affect what happens next in your world. And you want them to pay attention to your ask. How do you do this? Well, you tune into them so they tune into you. It's all about perspective. Perspective is power, but it's not your perspective. It's their perspective. When I work with people, I get them to define their perspective, what they want, what they need, what their ask is, what the yes is that they're after, and park it and define and drill down to the perspective of their stakeholder and prioritize it. This means that the third statement becomes reality. You interest them. You're not just informing them, educating, lecturing, talking at them. They genuinely want to tune into you and listen to what you're going to be saying next because they realize it's about them. And now I'll answer the question I started with. What's the biggest mistake people make when they have something important to communicate? They start with their perspective. It's all about them, not about the stakeholder that they want a yes from. So remember, define your perspective and park it. Define your stakeholder's perspective and prioritize it. If you want to make sure that you get attention and a yes from the stakeholder that you are communicating with. And to keep yourself in check, make sure the 3 statements that I shared with you here are front and center of everything that you communicate. In fact, go back, write them down, and stick a piece of paper on your laptop, somewhere where you can see it, and you can always refer back to the statements and make sure that you have this at the core of how you communicate. If you don't do this, people won't hear what you're saying. They won't want to be in the room listening, and you won't get that yes, the yes that changes your world. Now, if this is interesting, then be sure to watch this next video. In it, I take you through a simple framework that got one of my clients chosen as a Forbes fellow. I'll see you there.